Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. Be sure to go on, if you wouldn't mind, leave a review. You can do that on Apple.
Why are you being so needy? You realize how unattractive that is to me?
On Spotify, you can leave just stars. So if you want to leave a review, that would be amazing. I get so excited when I get a new review. And also be sure to check out the website, sadieandfriends.net, for your chance to win prizes. There's lots of blogs and so much more. But before we get started, I have to thank my friends over at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They're in the community, folks. They're deep in the community.
That sounds weird.
I actually just saw them a couple of days ago at a community event for the school. They care. They care about where they live. They care about their neighbors. And they have an amazing,
So I'll say it twice.
amazing amount of great reviews from people that I talked to from their website. Go to polarbearpha.com. And while you're there, check out the $99 spring deal that they've got going on. You should definitely get your AC looked at. What's weird is this last weekend, it was so warm. It was like perfect weather.
Woohoo!
And then we're going into next weekend. What if I told you it's going to get cold again and it just might snow?
No!
Right? That means if you're like my home, it's going back and forth. The temperature's going up and down because I like to be comfortable when it comes to the temperature. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to make sure to have them come out and do a complete system checkup for just $99. Again, that is such a great deal. And make sure that everything is running well, because here's the deal. You may turn your AC on and you may think to yourself, okay, it's feeling good. The cold air's coming out. It's doing what it should do. What if I told you that it might be just using so much more energy because it's bogged down, because it's old? We all get old and tired and need a tune-up every now and again, and it's the same for your AC unit. So get it checked before that incredibly hot weather comes, and it comes to stay.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire.
The hot weather where you can see like the heat lines over the concrete. You don't want any of that. You want to know you can go into your house and it's going to be a comfortable frozen tundra. So thank you so much to Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air for being a sponsor of the podcast. They are wonderful to work with, and you'll find that out when you work with them. Go check them out. That $99 sale they got going on for this, it cannot be beat. Go online today. PolarBearPHA.com. That's PolarBearPHA.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
We get our necklace says best friends forever.
You sure you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense, but sometimes you grow apart. And maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for listening to the newest episode of the podcast. And I have Ryan with me here today. How are you?
Wow, you are on fire because you were like, hello, this is Ryan. I'm ready to go today.
I am. I'm like ready to go because we have some interesting things to talk about. I know yesterday we were kind of laughing about that Blue Origin mission with Katy Perry and how she got up in space. And she's saying there's an update on that where Gayle King came out and said, guys, let's remember why we did this. To show little girls that they can do this, which I don't think there was ever a question that little girls couldn't grow up to be astronauts. Did you?
I thought we had gotten past that, but hey, if we need more encouragement and role models for females to be able to see that they can reach for the stars, I'm all in.
We are so different because I think it was a big goofy trip. And now they're coming out with the conspiracy theories saying that it wasn't even real.
Oh, God.
And they really didn't even go up.
People shut up.
Hey, don't hate on people with a different view of your view, because some people are already pretty convinced.
Here's the deal. We saw it. We literally have.
Do you believe we can believe everything we say? Or see? Oh my
We
God.
literally have cameras that showed this going up into the atmosphere, cameras of them on board the entire time, and then coming back down.
Okay. We will agree to disagree.
Whoa. No, am I married to someone who doesn't think that they went to space?
No, listen, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I think they didn't go. I'm saying I do think it was a waste of money.
No.
I just do. We don't have to go there. We don't have to go there.
Progress.
What I really want to jump into.
Sorry. You get me going on these rants, and I know this is your show, but you invite me on, and I think it's just a polite thing to do to let me talk when I want to talk too.
Go.
That the James Webb Telescope found evidence of a planet that is, they believe, habitable. 99.7% it's habitable. Now it is 124 light years away, but everyone in the scientific community seems to be pretty stirred up by this. So I'm saying, can we go?
First of all, what would that even entail? How would anyone get there?
124 light years. So
how do we travel that way?
First of all, we need to go warp speed, which I don't think is possible yet. And then even if we did, it would take 124 years to get there, unless we went in Interstellar and found a wormhole and then we're able to go. But that's me nerding out. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. And no, I would not go on a space trip. And I definitely wouldn't go for this is where we differ, because frivolously you're like, yeah, I'd go. And I am like, no, I think that it's way too risky. Even if it is up and down, they were gone for like 8 minutes was the complete time they were up in space. And then they came down and Katy Perry's kissing the ground. And again, those 2 astronauts that were left in space for 9 months were probably like, oh, give me a damn break.
But it's all about progress. And think about this. One day, Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, Armageddon style, there's a comet coming towards us. All the progress that we've made in development will help us defeat something like that.
Do you think that anybody was truly inspired by Katy Perry singing, or am I the norm?
One person.
Okay, so I'm the norm where it's like, oh, cringe.
I think more people were inspired by Bruce Willis and Armageddon than they were by Katy Perry singing.
One of the funniest things, and you know what? I'm going to find it and put it in this because it's so funny to hear Ben Affleck talk about the movie Armageddon, because he had a conversation with Michael Bay and he retells this story. Again, I'll find it, I'll play it. But essentially, as kind of just a synopsis, he's like, really, did it make more sense to send oil men up in space and train them to be astronauts rather than just taking astronauts and saying, you got to drill a hole and you got to drill it like this?
But as Bruce Willis will tell you in Armageddon, because you still have not seen that
and
movie,
I never will,
which blows my mind. You're prime age for that, by the way. It came out in like 98. It had that one song in it, the Aerosmith song.
Yeah.
Right?
That you'd hear every time you're at the dentist.
Yeah, but how have you not seen that movie? But in the movie, they talk about the same thing. Astronauts going up, and astronauts can't drill. You don't know what you're doing in there.
Okay, anyway, here is the clip of Ben Affleck talking about what I think a lot of people were thinking when that movie came out.
I asked Michael why it was easier to train oil drillers to become astronauts than it was to train astronauts to become oil drillers, and he told me to shut the fuck up. So that was the end of that talk. He was like, Ben, just shut up, okay? This is a real plan, all right? I was like, you mean it's a real plan at NASA to train oil drillers? He was like, just shut your mouth. See, here's where we demonstrate that, because Bruce is going to tell the guys that they did a bad job of building the drill tank. See, he's a salt-of-the-earth guy, and the NASA nerdonauts don't understand his salt-of-the-earth ways, his rough-and-tumble ways. Like, somehow they can build rocket ships, but they don't understand, what makes a good tranny. 8 whole months, as if that's not enough time to learn how to drill a hole. But in a week, we're going to learn how to be astronauts. 1 whole week? Now you know how to fly into space? I need my guys. Why do you need them? They're the best. Everyone's the best. Why are they the best? I don't know. They just are.
I'm only the best because I work with the best.
I mean, this is a little bit of a logic stretch, let's face it. They don't know jack about drilling. How hard can it be? Aim the drill at the ground and turn it on. You think it's just drilling a hole? There's a lot you gotta know about. And when you're gonna snap off an edge in a tranny on a corner of a hot pipe and you're gonna get a gas pocket. Like, yeah, well, what about when the booster rockets don't fire and your EVA suit and your zero gravity, you know? Didn't you see Apollo 13, boy?
What do you think about that?
You know, here's the deal. That movie's awesome. I don't really care.
One of the main stars is saying this is so dumb.
Look at me. Will you do me a solid and watch Armageddon with me?
Oh my God, yes. But listen to me.
Okay.
One of the main stars has come out and said, dude, this makes zero sense.
Still a solid movie. Don't care.
Okay. Well, let's move on from Armageddon and Ben Affleck and let's jump right into The Baldwins. It's a reality show that was premiered on TLC. It's in the first season. And we have so much to talk about with this because speaking of cringe, it's a little bit cringy.
The show or the people?
A little bit of both. And I don't want to talk ill of children because I think that's wrong, but it's so bad. First of all, Alec Baldwin, I have always thought to myself was like this stoic, tough ass, you don't mess with Alec Baldwin. And whether you hate him or you like him, the guy seems to have anger and fury. And I was always like, damn, you don't mess with Alec Baldwin. And then I watched this show, which I think is a big mistake on his part, not so much her part. And, but for his part, he doesn't have to do a reality show. If anything, I imagine that in their private time, they argued about it where she's like, please. And he was like, no. And she's like, please. And then finally he's like, oh, my God, bitch, shut up. And so he did it. And I don't look at Alec Baldwin the same. I'm going to play some audio of an interview that he and his wife, Ilaria, which we're going to jump into that lady in a second. But first, listen to this clip of them on the red carpet and how she speaks to him.
Oh my God, you're distracting me right now.
Sorry.
Like now you're just doing that. Why? Why are you distracting me?
I'm just captivated
You're just distracting me.
So
no, but
beautiful.
oh my God, stop! You're annoying me. Stop! It's not cute. No, he's distracting me. So I'm gonna walk out of this interview. Right?
I need the motherhood notes. You were doing amazing.
No, okay, go back. Let me go back. I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show.
Can you believe that, Ryan? What would you do if I literally said, see, you're not talking now? What would you do?
Walk away. Take one of those 10-minute walks that I need to take every once in a while just to calm down.
Yeah.
Because if you unleashed on me that way,
that's
in
bad,
private,
right?
Or even worse, in front of people, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. But he couldn't walk away. Now, I'm going to put the video on social media. So follow Sadie and Friends because that's where you're going to find the things that we talk about where you can view them. So I know it's an audio format, but if you want to view the actual video, I'm going to put that up. It's absolutely insane. And then on top of it, let's talk about his wife, Hilaria. I don't know if she goes by Hilaria or Ilaria, but it's very Spanish sounding. And the interesting thing about Ilaria Baldwin is that she was born in Boston. When I originally heard of Ilaria and her talking, because she will be on interviews and she'll go, what's that word? What's that word? What is that word? And I always think that's really cute when people from other countries do that. But with her, I don't know. It always kind of grinded my gears. And then I found out she's never actually lived in a foreign country.
Now she has.
Well, her
Growing
and
up,
Alec Baldwin did. But you can't just in your 30s be like, I love to. Here's the deal. This is what she says. Yes, she grew up in Boston because a few years ago she did an interview where she was really playing up the Spanishness. And people were calling bullshit and saying this cannot be for real. And she came out and she said, well, I grew up where we spoke Spanish and English, which, okay, I'm going to give you that. But she said, I also grew up where once a year my family would travel to Spain and we loved it. And that's great. Once a year we travel to Cancun, all inclusive, take the kids, but you don't see any of us coming back speaking like we are from there. We just don't do that. I find this to be incredibly odd. And if you watch this reality show, The Baldwins, as you can hear in the clips that I'm playing, she does not sound at all like it's a pretend accent.
What do they call that? Code switching?
Is that what it's called?
I think that's called code switching.
It's not stolen valor.
No, stolen valor is where you pretend to be in the military.
Yeah.
But code switching is jumping between two cultures.
She was definitely code switching for real.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and look that up just to be sure, because we don't have a fact check on this podcast.
So the Baldwins, it's again on TLC. They have 7 children together. Now, Alec Baldwin was originally married years ago to Kim Basinger, where they had a daughter. Her name is Ireland. She actually has a baby now that is about the same age as their 7th child together. How weird would it be to be a grandfather and a new parent? I thought that only happened on Father of the Bride Part 2, but apparently this is a thing that has happened. 7 kids, 8 pets. Something that completely spazzed me out watching this show is the dogs and cats just use the house as a bathroom. They just 24/7, they crap where they want and they pee where they want. The show jumps between their Manhattan apartment and their East Hampton summer home. Now, there was also another scandal. Aside from Alec Baldwin being married to a woman who grew up in Boston and was born and raised there, and she visited Spain once a year and then just all of a sudden went by. And she was born with the name Hillary Thomas, and then it became Hilaria. I think that is so weird and so cringy, and I don't know. I find it to be odd, but she's with a really odd dude in Alec Baldwin because there was a conspiracy. Well, it wasn't even a conspiracy. There was kind of a big hubbub a few years ago when do you remember that voicemail that he left for his daughter Ireland where he called her like a pig?
No.
Oh.
Oddly enough, those are things that really I read about.
Okay, listen to this.
Hey, I want to tell you something, okay? And I want to leave a message for you right now because, again, it's 10:30 here in New York on a Wednesday. And once again, I've made an ass of myself trying to get you a phone to call you at a specific time. When the time comes for me to make the phone call, I stop whatever I'm doing and I go and I make that phone call at 11 o'clock in the morning in New York, and if you don't pick up the phone, at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't even have that goddamn phone turned on. I want you to know something, okay? I'm tired of playing this game with you. I'm leaving this message with you to tell you, you have insulted me for the last time. You have insulted me. You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a damn that you're 12 years old or 11 years old or that you're a child or that your mother is a thoughtless pain in the ass who doesn't care about what you do as far as I'm concerned. You have humiliated me for the last time with this phone. And when I come out there next week, I'm going to fly out there for the day just to straighten you out on this issue. I'm going to let you know just how disappointed in you I am and how angry I am with you that you've done this to me again. You've made me feel like shit, and you've made me feel like a fool over and over and over again. And this crap you pull on me with this goddamn phone situation that you would never dream of doing to your mother, and you do it to me constantly and over again. I am going to get on a plane, and I'm going to come out there for the day, and I'm going to straighten your ass out when I see you. Do you understand me? I'm going to really make sure you get it. Then I'm going to get on a plane, I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to come home. So you better be ready Friday, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel. about what a rude little pig you really are. You are a rude, thoughtless little pig, okay?
What do you think of that, Rye?
I've been pretty mad at kids before. I've been pretty mad.
You haven't been little pig mad?
Never been little pig mad. I've always been the walk around the block mad. That's what I've been.
Yeah, you're never like you're a little pig. That was so rough. Well, he went on The View and he apologized for it, and it kind of got blown. It just blew away. It got brushed under the rug, and now he's back. Now, also a couple years ago, was it 2 years ago? He was on the set of the movie Rust, which I just saw the first trailer for.
The only order that exists in this world is the order we impose. If a man loses sight of that, he's got nothing.
And it actually...
Whoa, they're putting it out?
It is being released in theaters.
Did they finish it?
Well, so if you don't know, yes, they did. If you don't know what happened, Alec Baldwin was given a gun, which it was supposed to be filled with blanks. It's kind of the same thing that happened to Brandon Lee on The Crow set, but he was given
killed the cinematographer.
Yeah, so he thought that he had a gun that was filled with blanks, and he shot the cinematographer that was on set. And now, on top of the Baldwin show, her family is now coming for blood and saying, how can you do this show about raising your family and being happy when you shot and killed someone? He actually was possibly going to stand trial for murder, but that didn't end up happening. But that's what's going on with the reality show that I'm watching right now. Hey, everybody. Sadie here, breaking in really quick. Just telling you about my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Locally owned and operated, family owned and operated, passed down from generation to generation. They've got an amazing rating if you look them up. They've got a great rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are here for the community because they've been in the community for so long. If you want something different with your garage door, don't listen. You can paint your entire house, or maybe just get a different garage door. It will change the entire look of your home, I promise you. And they have technology right now that just can't be beat. You can literally be anywhere in the world and just push a button and it will close your garage door and it will alert you. It will say you're all set. Your home is locked up. Or it'll say, hey, dummy, you forgot to close your garage door. You push a button on your phone, it closes it for you. You're taken care of. You don't even have to get out of bed. How amazing is that? We're in the future, people. Call my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast. Why am I watching it when I think it's so cringy? Because that's the exact reason why.
There is a word that I think of with Alec Baldwin, and I think he needs to have his face in the dictionary for it. And it is obtuse. Do you know what obtuse means?
Tell me. Well, I do, but maybe people listening don't.
It means sly.
Thanks.
It means annoyingly insensitive.
Yeah.
Doesn't that really sum up Alec Baldwin?
I think it sums up Ilaria even more than Alec Baldwin.
Oh, but, this is the guy that shot somebody accidentally and then went and done it.
Oh, and he called his daughter a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They both kind of suck together. Let's transition into, for the 500th time, I'm going to ask you, can we please watch White Lotus? Every chance that Ryan and I are together alone, I'm like, let's watch White Lotus. And he goes, it's so nice outside. Let's go sit outside. Let's go for a walk out. So you know what? By default, I'm going to have to watch it to see. Everybody's talking about what happened, and I can't.
Do it. You can watch it by yourself. I will watch Armageddon. I will watch a 2-hour movie, as opposed to 30 hours of television. But you won't give me that.
Yeah, but you know what? That pisses me off because how many shows have you watched all the way through? There have been quite a few that you have. So I don't want to hear this whole 30 episode stuff because you have watched. Let me go through the ones. You have watched.
What I am saying is I don't have a desire to watch The White Lotus. It'd be sure, let's watch it together. No problem. Whatever. But I can't even get that's what, 3 seasons? I'm assuming it's 10 episodes. I'm assuming they're an hour apiece.
Yes.
All right, so 30 hours.
I know, but I originally came to you and said, do you want to watch this as a couple show? And you said, yeah.
I can't get you to watch a 2 hour and 15 minute just beautiful movie of Armageddon.
Okay, I will watch it, but I'm going to tell you that I'm going to point things out the entire time. Like, that is dumb. That is dumb. Why would they get a bunch of it? I'm not saying oil field workers aren't smart, because that's not true, but they're not like go up on the space and drill into the, like, what is that? That's so stupid.
You haven't seen the movie.
I've seen enough clips of the movie to know. And again, Ben Affleck came out. I played that clip a few minutes ago saying, like, this really doesn't make much sense. But I'll watch it with you.
Great movie.
And I'm going to watch White Lotus alone. You have missed that train. I'm going to start it over, and I'm going to start watching it. And I'm going to know what everybody's talking about.
Okay. I guess I'll be out on that one.
You know, the last show that we kind of watched together, or that I really watched because I felt like I was missing out on something, and everybody was like, can you believe what happened? What was that show we were all just watching?
That we watched together? Severance?
Yes. Yes, it's Severance.
Am I speaking with the board?
And I watched, like a season and a half of Severance. And I went that far because you and Sophie were talking about, oh my God, can you believe what happened? And then the bottom line is that it wasn't
the first season of Severance was awesome. The second season was good, but not as good as the first season. So, and each season has a cliffhanger, but the first season one was really, really good.
I have a problem with that, because then you're telling me it's going to be a waste to watch the second season, but I have to watch the second season to know what's going on.
Oh, I can fill you in on the second season. I don't need to tell you, like, hey, let's watch the second season.
It moves so slowly. It's really weird. And I have a sneaking suspicion that people who say they really dig it are actually just trying to seem artsy.
Trying to seem like they're smarter than they are.
That's kind of the vibe that I get. Okay. Like, oh my God, I loved it. It was so...
People that love jazz.
I like jazz, though.
I know.
Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Thank you to the sponsors. And be sure to hit automatic download. You may think, well, I already just download it every day. Well, if you do automatic download, then it's already uploaded to your smart device. And if something happens, like the power grid goes down, guess what? My calming voice will get you through that disaster. Thanks for listening. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. Be sure to check out the website, sadieandfriends.net, for your chance to win fabulous prizes. Also, nominate people to win fabulous prizes. But before I check out for the day, I just want to say a big thank you to show sponsor, Garage Door Service and Sales. They have been in business for so long, it's hard to wrap my tiny brain around it. I mean, decades and decades. It's family owned and operated, been passed down from generation to generation. So you get people who truly care, because you don't have that great of a reputation and you're not in business that long if you're not taking care of your people and your community. And that's what they do. So if you just need something quick fix, like a squeaky spring, or maybe it's just an old tinny garage door and you want something new and bougie, change the look of your home and get a brand new garage door from Garage Door Service and Sales. Call my friend Patrice and her family. They got your back, and they're going to give you something that you love. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.